Down payment plans on approved credit. We offer expired November 30th. Use your dental insurance by the end of the year or you'll lose it. Call Cutting Dental 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE. Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now save up to $800 on Sleep Number 360 smart bed, plus special financing, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
The Kfi Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow closed up 102, S&P 500 up 18, NASDAQ up 68, and the average price for a gallon of regular gas in California is $4.42.
Bay Alarm will keep your commercial fire system in compliance, so you're up to code, not up all night.
Southland weather from KFI, mostly cloudy tomorrow, highs mid-60s to mid-70s for Metro LA and the valleys, upper 60s to low 70s for Inland OC and the IE. Rain likely Friday morning, and then we have a chance of rain Friday afternoon. Right now, 76 in Orange, 69 Huntington Beach, 77 in Northridge, and 73 in Sun Valley. We lead local live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
Johnny Ken Show. John Cobell and Ken Post KFI. AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We got a lot to get to this hour. We learned that Joe Biden's stud son, Hunter, had a special art exhibit show, and guess who showed up? Mayor Yoga Pants. That was in attendance.
That art show's a criminal operation.
That oaf who wants to be the ambassador to India. Well, we'll talk about
Where do
that.
you think the money's going to end up?
Hunter Biden's art show.
Well, that's one place.
You still have his laptop, or did you give it back?
He's like corrupt in plain sight, and everyone's just going along. He's putting our
Put it, you're right. He apparently is still backdealing on his father's tower.
Well, because it's extremely lucrative and nobody's stopping it.
We'll also talk about some bills that Gavin Newsom signed. I'll give you a hint. Put down that ketchup packet. This is big. All right, we'll start with the oil spill off the coast of Orange County. We did learn yesterday, early in the show, we were one of the first to report it, that federal regulators released a statement that the company behind this oil spill, the pipeline, had some sort of alarm went off at like at 2:30 in the morning, and they didn't actually turn off the pipeline until a few hours later, and then of course they didn't report it until the next day. Also, they had a news conference this afternoon about the spill. We're going to go to Alex Stone, ABC News for KFI, with more on the whole story.
Alex, hey there, guys. Yeah, so this gets more confusing now. Yeah, as we start to go through the timeline of the first reports coming in, 6:13 Friday evening, the first report being filed in the 8 o'clock hour on Friday evening. First imagery coming in at about 2:30 in the morning from NOAA, showing the weather agency, showing a possible oil spill out there. And now, as you were just mentioning, the U.S. Department of Transportation, where they've got the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, sending a letter ordering that the pipeline officially be shut down, even though it already is, saying that alarms went off at 2:30 a.m. on Saturday. Pipeline wasn't shut down until 6:01 a.m., 3.5 hours later, and then 3 hours after that, almost 3 hours, before authorities were alerted, and 6 hours after the alarm. So, the CEO of Amplify was asked about all of this today, Martin Wilshire, and first of all, the information coming in on Friday night, he claims they knew nothing about that. Here's what he said.
So we're not aware of any spill until 8:09 a.m. on Saturday morning. I promise you, if we were aware of something on Friday night, I promise you we would have immediately stopped all operations and moved forward.
So wait a second, 8:09 a.m. on Saturday morning, but the alarms were going off according to the federal government at
We saw the memo.
Yeah, I got the memo.
It happened at the Beta control room. Beta is a subsidiary of Amplify Energy. And 2:30, the alarm went off. How can the CEO go out there and say, "Oh, we didn't know"? I mean, it's just not true.
Well, and he was pressed on that today over and over again, and he says,
discovered oil and water during line run at 8:09 a.m. Instantly radioed back to the platforms, and the platforms initiated the incident response plan at that time.
But it was, wait a second. You are saying 8:09 that you didn't know. Federal government is saying 2:30 in the morning alarms went off, showing low pressure, and he claims, well, they don't know if there really was low pressure, but he doesn't go back to whether there were alarms or weren't alarms. He says,
I understand the question, ma'am. We are fully committed to working with the investigators through this, and like I said, all of that will be investigated.
so the timeline really makes no sense right
But
now.
what's going on here?
Well, you could argue that clearly they know that there are numerous investigations looking into all of this, that already the first federal lawsuit has been filed, many more likely will be. Well, you know, he's saying that all they know is that at 8:09 they saw oil in the water. Now, the question, too, is, okay, then why did you shut down the pipeline at 6:01 a.m.? He says that is a normal shutdown, that they aren't always flowing oil through there.
Oh, come on.
That they have to clean it at times and do other things. So he claims that wasn't an indicator that they had something going on.
Boy, how does the feds know the alarm went off at 2:30? How did they know that? Do you
Well,
know?
apparently it's coming from Amplify Energy. Otherwise, how would they know? And we talked to
Who's on first?
we talked to an expert in oil and pipelines and whatnot, and they said that a company, whether it be on the platform or somewhere in LA or even in some high rise in Texas where the company is headquartered, that they would have to, unless the sensors were not working, if you had a hole like an airplane door blowing open, that if all of a sudden the pressure explodes out of the pipeline, now we know a 13-inch gash and the pipeline had been moved, that you would have sensors and alarms going off like crazy that something was going on, and that you would know, we've got a problem, we've got a hole in this thing, if the pressure went way down. Now, he said today they don't know yet if there was a big drop in pressure, but that they're investigating that. This is more than what he said yesterday, though. Everything yesterday, even down to tell us about how an alarm system works, a low-pressure alarm system, he would only say, we'll be transparent with investigators, and would not tell the media about any of that. So this is a big jump today, in that he was giving times and giving some details, but it does not match up with what the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration
And
is
if
saying.
people were smelling this as early as 6 o'clock in the evening on Friday, why did it take 8.5 hours before that alarm went off that the pressure had dropped? Because if you're smelling something, there's already a lot of oil leaking rapidly. It's got
Well,
to.
again, he's claiming that they didn't know about any of that stuff on Friday night, and that it wasn't reported to them. Now, I mean, you could
No,
argue...
I'm saying the alarm should have got off a lot earlier.
Let's just say if the alarm didn't go off, or they didn't really know, then we're talking about 12, 13, 14 hours from the initial reports to when they got out there and knew that they had a problem because they had oil in the water, and then began shutting everything down and activating. So there's still a lot of unknowns in these timelines. His timeline, and he won't explain it, does not match up with the federal government's timeline. And then you have this other issue that we talked about yesterday of that these reports did start coming in on Friday night. The Coast Guard says this is how it goes, that they get them, and it was a real general report, and there wasn't a lot they could do at nighttime because you can't see oil in the water, that there are going to be a lot of arguments of something's got to change in the response to these, that the time is critical, and that if you could have gotten on this immediately and shut that thing down, there would be a lot less, you would think, at least, a lot less oil in the water than allowing it to go all night long.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for that update.
You got it. That's it.
Alex Stone, ABC News for KFI, and again, you got that CEO of Amplify just trying to spin this story, but...
Well, he's not telling the truth. They're spinning, and then you're making stuff up here. This is completely at odds with the evidence.
Now, somebody can prove that an alarm went off at 2:30 and that they did not shut off the oil until 6?
Well, presumably the
That'd
federal
be the
government.
first criminal act.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe anything that guy is selling.
And you're right, if people in Orange County were smelling stuff Friday night and reporting it to the police, the winds was already bringing in some of the oil slick smell.
Right. So the oil was leaking at 6 o'clock.
Enough for it to hit the shore and make people
Right.
go, oh.
Yeah, which must have registered on some gauge somewhere, right? Now, because that alarm at 2 in the morning might have meant an alarm where it reached some kind of critical low pressure level. But there should have been a way to detect the oil leaking at 6 o'clock.
All right, we got more coming up.
Johnny Ken, KFI, and Deborah Marquez.
The LA City Council has voted to require people to show proof of full COVID-19 vaccination before going into many indoor businesses. A high school student in the Dallas area has been arrested on suspicion of opening fire on campus. 4 people were hurt. Food marketers say the cost of groceries likely to keep going up because companies have been jacking up those prices to recover from the pandemic. We'll go to the 5 and we will check in with the KFI in the Sky next.
Most mortgage lenders charge a fee, sometimes up to 1.5 points for pulling cash out of your home's equity. Those points are on your whole loan balance, not just the cash you get. For example, if your loan amount is $400,000, that's a $6,000 fee. For a limited time, Owning will waive this fee so qualified borrowers can get a cash-out refi with absolutely no closing costs of any kind. Besides the usual no title, escrow, appraisal, etc., no fees for a cash-out on a 30-year fixed mortgage. So if you're in process somewhere and paying fees, call 8332-OWNING or go to owning.com, where our rate and APR for a no cash out fee 30-year fixed mortgage is 2.75%. But hurry, the mortgage industry won't like this. So who knows when this special goes away? Call 8332-OWNING or go to owning.com.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation and the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-303-2160 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings. The National League wildcard game is tonight, and the Dodgers will have right-handed ace Max Scherzer on the bump against the Cardinals, who will counter with Adam Wainwright. In the NBA, the Lakers and Clippers will be impacted by a mandate for Los Angeles businesses to require proof of vaccination before entering. And in NHL preseason action, it's the Kings and Ducks meeting tonight in the first of 2 freeway face-offs that close out each team's preseason. I'm J.D. Halperin.
Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot and millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit.
Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
It's slow on the 5 in Irvine.
We're looking at that northbound side, and now delays. It's a lot more slow than go. Northbound away from Alton Parkway as you travel all the way to the 2. It's a huge mess out there this afternoon. We've got Mike O'Brien taking a look at Carson. KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com.
Eastbound side of the 91, that's floating up there just right off the beginning of the freeway there. We're off the 110. We're going to stretch heavy over to Lakewood. It's going to loosen up a bit and really doesn't get real heavy until you're into the Santa Ana Canyon. It'll load up there about Weir Canyon truck scales. From there, heavy over to Green River. Now, we've had a couple problems on the West 91, too. The 91 westbound around Gypsum Canyon, very ample problem there. You get an unusual mile or so of slowing. And up ahead of that, 91 westbound at Lakeview. That's clearing to the right shoulder, and that's backing up through Imperial Highway. A wild card game tonight at Dodger Stadium. 101 southbound already getting very heavy from Hollywood Boulevard down towards the stadium through Echo Park. And southbound side of the 5. That's a tough one right now from Burbank down to Stadium Way as well. Injured in an accident? Visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This report is sponsored by iAccidentLawyer.com.
Tired of the BS? We spent $500,000 at risk. Results $8 million for leg-injured motorcyclists.
Hey, it's Conway here. Know why I got a whole house water filtration system from Purigan Water? Because I don't want to wonder if my family's tap water is safe. No more wasting money on bottled water, no plastic bottles to recycle, and no more visits to the chiropractor's office because you're lifting 5-gallon bottles of water or 40 pounds of salt. No calcium buildup on faucets or shower heads, and that alone is worth it. Purigan extends the life of your water heater. Things on with this clean water. Purigan Water offers free lifetime service. No one else can make that claim. The system takes up a little tiny amount of space. So let's get Purigan, California's preferred whole house water filtration system. And for a limited time, when you buy a whole house system, you get the 6-stage alkaline drink system for free. 844-80-WATER. 844-80-WATER. That's P-U-R, again, water.com. Spelled wrong, but the water's right. 844-80-WATER.
The Purigan Man is your best friend to make your water pure again.
Living with dental issues is hard. No one knows this better than Joseph, who struggled with failing teeth for years.
The inflammation, the bad breath, the teeth falling out, the pain.
These issues took their toll, so Joseph came to Clear Choice Dental Implant Center, where he discovered one procedure to put an end to the years of discomfort, pain, and compromise.
Once I got it done, I was like, why did you wait so long?
That's what dental implants did for Joseph. Find out what they can do for you by visiting clearchoice.com.
You know, most people think that varicose veins are just embarrassing. They're just a cosmetic issue. Hey, it's Dr. Wendy Walsh. You should know that if left untreated, varicose veins can cause ulcers, infections, and even dangerous blood clots. West Medical specializes in the most advanced, minimally invasive varicose vein treatments available, and it's covered by most PPO insurances. So call 1-800-WEST-MED or westmedical.com to set up a free consultation with a vein expert today. Have you received your free AAA full picture quote? It gives you a 360-degree view of your auto insurance quote. From premiums to coverages to discounts. Visit AAA.com/insurance to see how much you could save.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. If you've decided to sell your house, I know it is tempting to just get it listed as is or even take one of those cash-out deals. But why sell yourself short when making just the right upgrades will maximize its sale value? You mean like flipping our own home, Dean? We don't have the expertise or the cash for that. I know, but my friends at Revive do. Revive knows exactly what to change, what to spend, and where to spend it. They'll manage everything for you and front all the costs. Yes, Revive fronts the cost. They get paid back from escrow, but the profit gained is all yours. How much profit? The average client makes over 200% profit on what Revive invests on their behalf. It's a no-brainer. Reach out to iloverevive.com today and see if your home qualifies. To make the most from the sale of your home, go to iloverevive.com. That's iloverevive.com.
A portion of Manhattan Beach, despite its beauty, represents a painful history for Black Americans. I'm Corbin Carson. Join me for KFI News presents This Sand Is My Sand, the stolen legacy of Bruce's Beach. We'll hear from elected officials, historians, and activists who are fighting to right the wrongs of the past to return this stretch of coastline to the family it was taken from 100 years ago.
KFI News presents
This Saturday and Sunday evening at 8
on KFI.
John and Ken Show. John Cobelt, Ken Shampoo, KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. All right, the Voice Fund coming back in just a couple of days. You can leave a message at 1-877-MOIST-86, 1-877-664-7886. Well, proving that he is a shameless flack, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, otherwise known on this show as Mayor Yoga Pants. What did we call him before that? We had another name even before that, didn't we?
Yeah,
Or Yoga
there was
Pants.
some other derogatory name.
Hello, Angelinos. Hi, Mayor Yoga Pants.
He attended Hunter Biden's art show in Hollywood on Friday. Elites were invited, including...
And they go.
The guy who created the Obama Hope posters, remember those that were all over the place? And the musician Moby. 200 people attended the event. It took place in a large white room in a place called Milk Studios. And
Wow, that's
according to
really
reports,
cool and trendy.
Hunter Biden's gallerist, I guess that's the person that runs the George Berger, is reportedly charging up to $500,000 per piece of artwork. Have you seen any of his crap, or?
No, I don't care. It can't possibly be good. He's a crackhead.
So there are ground rules because the White House had ethical concerns about people writing checks directly to the president's son.
Okay, so they launder the money.
For example, you must not know the identity of any of the buyers or discuss the sale of any of the pieces of art during the event.
Sure.
Instead, just discuss the creative process.
Okay.
That's what Hunter Biden's supposed to do.
Do you think Hunter and Joe don't know the names of the buyers?
Oh, of course they do.
Well, all you see, what you can't have technically is you can't have Hunter meet the buyer. You can't have the money directly go to Hunter, and on the check is the name of the buyer, right?
Because it looks like a bribe? Or?
But Well, yeah, because the whole purpose here is to bribe. Okay.
Access to Joe.
You're selling bad. You're drug
supporting the son to get to the father.
Exactly, and we know all the stories about Ukraine and China and all the rest, right? We know about his life. So they have come up with this beautiful scam. They're going to make claims. It's like, well, we don't know the buyers, and Hunter has no idea. You know, it's all nonsense. Of course they know the buyers. The buyers are doing this in order to get some kind of presidential favor, and they will.
And I think Garcetti went just to show support for Biden, who gave him the ambassadorship to get him out of L.A.
Maybe to remind the Biden family who he is.
And that he wants this nomination confirmed so he can get the hell out of L.A.
Yeah, he's trying to keep himself in the public profile. So maybe Garcetti bundled some of the money that was used to buy Hunter's artwork. Well, because that's what he did in the campaign. He was a bundler. He got his minions together to.
You sure he wasn't a bungler?
Well, he's that too.
Wow.
He's a bundler as mayor, and he's a bundler for Biden. But yeah, this is all just corruption.
In fact, the Washington Examiner reports that Hunter Biden still owns a 10% stake in a Chinese firm, even though he pledged to divest from a Chinese government-linked firm that has invested in companies sanctioned by the United States despite repeated pledges from Joe Biden and his family would not have any foreign business ties.
No, they lied like crazy. I mean, the Bidens lie a lot, and it's a corrupt family, and it has been for decades. And this is how they do business, and there are no consequences. The media chose not to cover Hunter Biden and that Russian laptop. They chose not to dig into the Ukraine and China stories. They chose this. So they're protected by the media. I don't think Biden's administration, the Justice Department, is going to investigate.
No. There's no monitoring in place for this kind of.
So here's this ingenious dodge around written law where an anonymous buyer is going to spend $500,000 on some piece of crap from Hunter Biden's drug den, and everyone's going to pretend it has no influence on the president.
It doesn't
work that way. People don't buy art from a drug-addicted son at $500,000 price unless there's a payoff that they're going to get from the president. Simply, it's 100% unbelievable.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about how you're not only going to have to ask for that straw, which I guess they're still doing in some places, you're going to ask for that ketchup package, you're going to have to ask for the utensils, you're going to have to ask for anything that they've determined is too much waste.
It's so stupid.
We'll talk about it next.
John and Ken Show. Deborah Marquez News.
LA Mayor Garcetti has signed an ordinance that requires people to show proof of full COVID-19 vaccination before going into many indoor businesses. That includes restaurants, bars, gyms, and shopping centers. The city council passed it this morning. Only 2 council members voted against it. More than 2,200 Kaiser Permanente employees across the country have been put on unpaid leave because they're not vaccinated against COVID. The company says the employees have until December 1st to get the shot, and those who choose not to will be terminated. Kaiser says its overall vaccination rate is 92%. A Democrat congresswoman from Michigan has been criticized for saying she was only wearing a mask at an event because a Republican tracker was there. Video of Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib was posted on Twitter by the Washington Free Beacon. An unmasked man at the event had walked up to the congresswoman and apologized for not wearing his mask. She laughed and pulled her mask away from her face while speaking and pointing at a camera.
Oh, I thought you were like, unmasked guy.
Some on social media questioned whether Tlaib thought masks were really needed. Others suggested she should not wear one at all if that's how she feels. The news is brought to you by Ruber Hero. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he will support a debt limit extension into December to give Democrats more time to come up with a long-term solution.
Democrats have had 2.5 months notice to use the fast-track party-line reconciliation process, which they have already used happily this year and already intend to use once again.
He says Republicans have provided a clear and consistent roadmap to raise the debt ceiling. Congress has until October 18th to raise the debt ceiling, or the U.S. could default on its debts for the first time in history. show Law & Order is getting a reboot of sorts. ABC has given the go-ahead to film a pilot for a sequel to the hit show, which was on NBC from 1986 to 94. Blair Underwood, one of the stars of the original series, will be back. He is also an executive producer. It is slow on the 5 in Burbank.
This is the southbound side. We're seeing delays that are filling in, getting away from Olive, and that remains very slow ahead all the way to the 110 freeway. Over to the 10 more delays as you travel towards the 605. We've got Mike O'Brien, Kfi in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com, and the High Hills.
Yes, the 91 westbound, just approaching about Gypsum Canyon here. They're clearing this problem to the right shoulder, so you get a little pinch on unusual slowing there. And up ahead, another pinch as you approach Lakeview. Lakeview, you got a problem that just went to the right shoulder, so that stretch is heavy now from before Imperial Highway. The 91 eastbound, typical stuff. That's going to load up at about Weir Canyon Truck Scales. Very heavy over to Green River from there. And we're just about 45 minutes from first pitch at Dodger Stadium, the wild card game between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Getting very crowded around the stadium. It's a good spot to avoid if you don't have a ticket. It looks like Sunset Boulevard, both directions, very heavy for a couple of miles, approaching Finch Way, and the southbound side of Glendale Boulevard, very tough. In fact, the two very tough now out of Glendale down towards the stadium as well. Injured in an accident? Visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
Well, you've heard me talk about my friends at Sunday and how they can sell your home fast without any repairs, without the hassle of dealing with showings, realtors, cleaning, or making upgrades. Now Sunday has made the process even easier for those who want to sell a property fast. Contact Sunday for your free no-obligation cash offer. They're going to visit your property, take photos, and do a 3D walkthrough. They'll package your property details and send it to the thousands of local investors in their database who are actively looking to buy properties. The average homeowner receives 12 offers on their property. It's quick and easy. Plus, you can close in as little as 10 days, or they have the flexibility to close in months. They can even give you a $20,000 cash advance, which will help with moving costs when you sell with Sunday. Go to Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com, or phone them, 800-25-OFFER. Get a free no-obligation cash offer at Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com. Sunday is a California licensed real estate broker. DRE license number 020-88298.
Southland weather from KFI, mostly cloudy tomorrow. Highs mid-60s to mid-70s for Metro LA and the Valleys, upper 60s to low 70s for Inland OC and the IE. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Deborah Mark.
Simon on line 8, GBA True Mortgage is a fair housing lender. NMLS 1626699. The following example is a 30-year term at 2.625% on a loan amount of $300,000 with a 50% LTV. Primary residence only and with a 740 FICO score.
Rates are at all-time lows, but you hear a lot of conflicting information about what that means to you exactly.
The team at True Mortgage wants to show you how affordable a true loan can actually be and how much it might cost you each month.
If you've got a $300,000 loan and you're paying a dime more than $1,250 a month, you must call True Mortgage now at 833-66-FASTER or go to TrueNow.com to see what they can do to make your monthly payment more affordable.
$1,250 per month on a $300,000 loan. It's true, and they can help you get into a super affordable monthly payment and help you immediately.
Have a $400,000 loan, merely add another $400 per month, and so on. It is simple math and an even easier payment, but as Chairman Powell said, rates will go up, so call today.
True Mortgage, 833-66-FASTER or TrueNow.com. That's 833-66-FASTER or dial pound 250 and use the keywords True Mortgage.
American General Life Insurance Company has an opening for the position of Assistant Actuary in Woodland Hills, California. Job duties for the position include leading variable annuity reserves and capital requirement quarterly production and reporting and analysis. Associate of the Society of Actuaries ASA designation is required. To apply, send resumes by mail to American General Life Insurance Company, reference number AL118AIGCA. Attention Lisa Goldner, 175 Water Street, New York, New York, 10038.
Want the best possible price on your next car? Download the Roto app. That's RODO. Roto lets you browse thousands of vehicles from local dealers right from your phone and even offers contact-free delivery. And with Roto, there's never any haggling. The price you see is pre-negotiated and already includes every available discount. There's no hidden fees and no surprises. Just 100% transparent pricing. So for an easy car buying experience, download the Roto app now or check out Roto.com. That's RODL.com. A portion of Manhattan Beach, despite its beauty, represents a painful history for Black Americans. I'm Corbin Carson. Join me for KFI News presents This Sand Is My Sand, the stolen legacy of Bruce's Beach. We'll hear from elected officials, historians, and activists who are fighting to right the wrongs of the past to return this stretch of coastline to the family it was taken from 100 years ago.
KFI News presents
This Saturday and Sunday evening at
KFI.
John Cobell, Ted Champo's KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. All right, one of the big stories today locally is that the city of LA did pass that ordinance that you're going to have to show vaccine proof to get into a lot of places. We'll talk about it in about 30 minutes from now. Well, you know that theory people have when they object to things, it's a slippery slope.
Yes. Very true. That's what we've got.
It is very.
That's like that vaccine passport now that we're going to have to show.